am not right.
You're terrible, Muriel.
Talk to me.
You gonna do that pogo?
You've been talking to the cop. Today is a brand new day.
No, that's it. It's the vibe.
Good day, fellow Aussie film lovers, and welcome to another episode of Under Southern Screens, the most definitely watching Wolfram Australian cinema podcast. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Matthew, and elephant in the room. This is not the Wolfram episode.
Wait, are you telling me we're not watching Wolfram this episode? The movie that came out 1 month ago and is therefore unreachable unless we did it illegally, and watching this movie illegally would kind of be like actually kind of morally dubious.
Yes.
Wowee.
Well, yeah, so elephants in the room, to all the people that were itching and scratching for the Wolfram episode for this new month that we're doing, like month of.
The new month. That's next week. That's next week's episode. The new month. So we're doing the new boy this week.
We are doing the new boy this week.
Oh, fuck.
This is Warguast, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting this off really, really strong. Basically, what this is, while Mitch is having a mental breakdown, is Australia has a lot of great directors, right? We have Peter Weir,
love that guy.
Jocelyn Moorhouse,
Love
Baz
her.
Luhrmann.
Love that guy.
Mitch loves Baz Luhrmann, doesn't he?
I have nothing against Baz Luhrmann.
We've been over this. Yeah, we got a track record.
Oh, crap. That's right.
One of the best Australian directors, in my mind and a lot of other Australians' minds, is Warwick Thornton. He's an Indigenous Australian director, and he's made quite a number of films that deal with the subject matter of Indigenous Australia and their 50,000-year-old culture, which I believe is likely one of the strongest and most interesting aspects of this country. And so Mitch has not seen a Warwick Thornton film.
Now I have.
He has now.
I hadn't seen any before. We take 1 week off and immediately we fumble.
We take 1 week off, and also we're both really, really sick as well. So
That
I'm
is
sorry
true.
about
We
that.
are actually quite sick.
We should call it Under Southern Sick.
No.
That's right. Yeah, boom. But yeah, so this month, the month of August, we decided to watch all 4 currently available on streaming Warwick Thornton films because, yeah, quite frankly, I love this director. I think he is one of the most influential Australian directors, and I'm so excited to take this journey with Mitch today.
Me.
With him. That guy opposite me. That's a lie. We record this over the internet.
Well, it's opposite you through the camera, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, very, very true. I get to see his beautiful face every week. And we're going to be watching Warwick Thornton's beautiful films every week for the next 4 weeks. Starting with, what are we starting with this week, Mitch?
Well, this week we're starting with his most recent, but also most recent available film.
Yes, yeah.
Which is not Wolfram, but is The New Boy from 2023.
That is right, yes.
I remember seeing the trailers for this.
You did?
I go to a lot of Palace theaters and they do a lot of film festivals. Do we have a generic Australian film festival that they do?
Not really. It's more just your MIFs and Sydneys. And
well, it's definitely in there. Like, because they do like the Scandinavian one and the Latinx one.
It might have also been an Indigenous Australian film festival.
I don't think it was, though. I think it was... Oh, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, there was some sort of film festival that this was part of, done by Palace, and I remember seeing this trailer a bajillion times.
That's what I like about Palace. They have all of the Aussie movie trailers and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, The New Boy, 2023. I watched this on SBS On Demand.
Me too.
I love SBS On Demand. Can we just talk about how good SBS On Demand is for a second?
I was really hungry, and it kept showing me adverts for the new Macca's burger. I'm not even a huge fan of Macca's. I find Macca's always disappoints me.
Yeah.
Even though I knew that I wouldn't like the burger probably, I was still very tempted to buy a Macca's burger. They managed to catch me at the right time. Also, Australian census coming up, everyone. Beware.
These are the 2 things you got out of the SBS On Demand ad was the Macca's burger and the census.
Yeah. The census is coming up. They did tell me that more information is coming.
Look at that. We're retroactively current. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is if the census is taking place in August. But yeah, I love SBS On Demand as well. Should I get into an intro?
Yes, please.
For The New Boy. That would be really cool. Spoilers for The New Boy as well.
The new intro.
The new intro. We do one every week, so it's always new, but yep. We're starting off the month of August, not with the most recent Warwick Thornton film, but the most recent one available on major streaming platforms, so take what you can get. This week we're watching 2023's The New Boy. This fantasy drama film is like if Harry Potter was set during the times of the Stolen Generation, except it's not super whimsical or funny, but it's also not transphobic, so I mean tit for tat. We follow the titular new boy, played by Aswan Reed, who doesn't wear glasses or have an embarrassing mum who tells him she loves him when he gets out of the car, but he does have supernatural powers. And as he begins to be forcefully assimilated into Christian culture of his boarding school by Sister Eileen, played by Kate Blanchett, we delve deeper into the effects of overriding Indigenous culture as a byproduct of the Stolen Generation. This film is drawn from Warwick Thornton's own personal experiences of growing up in a monastery boarding school as a boy, and the disillusionment many Indigenous Australians face between recognising their own, arguably more important culture and the Western culture forced upon them. Through the film, the new boy comes to see the twisted nature of the boarding house and interacts with various characters impacted by the teachings of the monastery, including Sister Mum, played by Deborah Melman, and George, played by Wayne Blair. This may also be a contender for the nastiest looking food ever to be put on the screen in an Australian film. That slop is looking hella sloppy. Side note, I know I wrote something, but like compare like the Macca's meal to the slop.
It did make me less hungry. I will give you
That's
that.
true. And then the ad came on, you became more hungry.
And then I also learned about the census again. It was good.
Anyway, the new boy shares many similar themes and aesthetics to Thornton's other works, but I believe it is just as impactful as his previous films in showcasing real issues that impacted hundreds of thousands of Indigenous people even to this day. So yeah, man, first Warwick Thornton film. What do we reckon?
Peek behind the curtain, Matthew and I are recording 2 episodes again today.
Exactly, double ups, boys.
So the next episode, which if anyone can count, is Sweet Country.
That's it.
My first Warwick Thornton movie was Sweet Country.
Yeah.
So this was my second. I was really sick last week, so I didn't really want to watch movies. Did I like this movie? Oh yeah, it's good. It's a good movie.
I like it as well.
Start from like the most basic thing. Warwick Thornton has an interesting take on religion.
Yes.
And that's
yeah.
not just from this movie. That's like Sweet Country as well. I'm curious to see going forward how it's represented in Samson and Delilah, which will be the ultimate film that we review.
Yeah, which I love.
Because that's his first movie that Matthew loves.
Yes.
I haven't seen. I'm excited to watch it. And I'm curious to see how religion will appear in that. But I mean, telling me that he grew up in a monastery boarding school, that makes a lot of sense why he would maybe, especially the cultural identity that he has being an Aboriginal person and how Christianity was forced upon the Aboriginal people. It makes a lot of sense why. What I find interesting, though, is that some of his nicest characters are also the biggest believers in Christianity.
It's very nuanced in that way. Because, like, you know, that's why I like this film so much, is that it doesn't demonize Christianity. Okay, put this out here. I think The Stolen Generations was a bad thing. I think it was a wrong thing to do to force a whole Western culture
Matthew.
upon...
Oh my God, what an insane and
I know,
hot take.
I just want to lay that out there really. Like, I think it was a bad thing that Indigenous people had a culture forced upon them that they literally... Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, it's just... No, you're not wrong. I totally agree with you. Just the way you said it was very amusing.
So I think it's interesting that Thornton provides a nuanced take because I think it shows that lived experience in the film. Look at Brand New Day, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like that opening scene in the boarding school, it is very black and white what they are trying to do there.
He's like very comedically, not evil, but like comedically antagonistic.
But
and
yeah, I think going back to my point, I think it's interesting seeing the nuance. Kate Blanchett's character is so layered. Deborah Melman's character is so layered. They all have a reason for staying around. I love the unraveling of the whole monastery subplot.
Yeah, the monastery itself, it's got its own thing going on in that the main padre has been dead for over a year or something. Oh, no, it has just hit a year, and they're pretending, because he was a horrible guy, and they're just pretending that he's still alive so that they don't have a guy replace him and who could also be horrible.
It's fantastic world building, genuinely.
It makes it more interesting than just, oh yeah, she just runs this place. And
the world building itself and just sort of the natural progression and the unraveling, not only does it feel like a bloody Red Dead Redemption side quest or whatever, because it is just like so isolated, it's so vague, I guess, and that like there are a lot of inferences that you put into it. It also feels a bit Ozploitation in that way, where it is that gradual unraveling of the mystery of what actually happened here. I don't know. I got a lot of Cars That Ate Paris out of it.
Sure.
Not in the way that it's messed up and crazy looking, but I think just in terms of the narrative structure of the film. You know?
Arguably, do we ever really get an answer of what's going on though? Like,
That's true. Very, very true.
that's kind of the point as well. Is so my original joke for the intro was the most maybe Jesus Australian cinema podcast.
Yeah.
That's the main contention of the film. Is this kid Jesus? Like,
Yeah.
he keeps getting the wounds in the hand where Jesus is. He's quite drawn to the statue.
He healed the child.
He heals multiple people. Like, he heals that snake. He heals that kid who got bitten by a snake. He heals the kid who was
He
burnt.
causes lightning, all of that.
Is there like this kind of give and take of the universe that he healed the snake, but then he started bleeding, I think.
Yeah, true.
When he heals the kid who was bitten by the snake, he actually spits out a crap ton of blood. The world is still in balance, so there's still the same amount of life per se in the world.
Yeah, there's a double-edged sword.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I'm a little out at arm's reach from this film though.
Okay.
And I find it's because I have a really tricky time following mystical characters when not a lot is explained and it's not a horror film. If it's a horror film, I can kind of get on board with it. I'm like, oh, the spookiness is that I don't know. But this isn't a horror film. I found it really hard to get attached to this kid and his story, which is maybe even the point. He's not a character per se.
He's the catalyst.
This is my go-to point for like films. It's like, he's not actually a character. Mad Max isn't actually a character. He's a catalyst. He's a force of nature.
It's all right.
It's like my go-to
That's all right.
Clever
That's okay.
Mitchell point.
Maybe it's just an Australian film thing. I don't know.
Maybe Australians do that. Maybe that's the thing we do. But yeah, so even though he wasn't a character, we followed him quite a bit. So like with Mad Max, when he's not a character, we still have Furiosa to be an actual character for us. Whereas in this guy, you could argue the...
Yeah, I think Kate Blanchett is that.
I like the movie.
aspect.
It sounds like I don't like the movie. I did like this movie. I had a bit of a hard time connecting with it.
Going back to the point of, is he Jesus? I think that maybe, and this is what I got out of it, maybe Thornton is saying that organized religion is kind of silly, goofy, and weird that we're subscribing to all of these miraculous things means he is Jesus, and it is in fact that he is something above.
He's just his own thing.
Jesus. He's just like his own thing, legit.
It doesn't have to be Jesus. He is just another miraculous thing that doesn't have to be attributed to the Christian belief.
Hence the fact that once he fully subscribes to Christianity, in the end, his powers, dissipate. You know what I mean? Again, it can be inferred a million different ways. Having watched Sweet Country and watched Samson and Delilah, this is the most inferential, and it is also the most tame, I think, as well, in its depiction of the cruelty that the Indigenous people have faced.
Yeah, you kind of just have like that start section, and then the rest of it's kind of just a bit more about not so much the cruelty, but just how the culture was slowly, which is cruel, not good.
Yeah, it isn't portrayed as
it's like a
overtly
benign evil. Kind of like it's like a lot of these people did actually mean well, but they still helped a culture get wiped away.
Aside from that, a thing that we will see throughout this whole month is Thornton's expert cinematography, his expert eye for the camera.
Yeah, he's his own cinematographer.
Yeah, he shoots all of his movies.
I saw it on Sweet Country, and then I went, oh, I wonder if he did New Boy as well, and he did do New Boy. He has an exceedingly beautiful eye.
His cinematography has the sauce, like genuinely.
He shoots Australia like I've never seen it been shot before. It is
it's fantastic.
Exquisite.
He loves a good sunset. He loves a good silhouette.
He does things with yellow you would never think could be done with yellow.
Yeah, he must love the song by Coldplay.
Oh, Clocks?
Oh, yeah, Clocks. I was going to say Paradise, but
I like Clocks.
Because we live in a land of paradise.
Gangster's Paradise?
A Touch of Paradise. That's a John Farnham song right there. Anyway, the cinematography is off the chain. I think the performances are quite good as well.
Yeah, no, everyone's really good. I think there's only one part which I found amusing with the performances, and I can't even blame the movie for it. Like, it's the part where the big kid punches the new boy in the stomach, and then he gives him a rising uppercut.
Yeah, the Street Fighter move.
First of all, insane move. Second of all, both clearly don't contact. Like, there's just, but I can't fault the movie on that. I can't expect these kids to be trained stunt doubles.
Not only is this not an action movie, but it's children fighting.
Exactly. So I'm not, but it was just, there was one where I was like, that was like the one part where like the spell was like kind of broken, but I don't even blame the movie for it. Like, it's not a fault.
Another thing that sort of took me out of it, I know, again, it's supposed to have supernatural elements, but the CGI light, I don't know.
It was rough. It definitely felt like it'd been plastered on.
Too overt. too overt
Yeah.
for how sophisticated the rest of the film was.
Especially since it's heavily implied that the light might not even be there, or at very least only he and the person he's like working with can see it.
Yes, yeah.
Because there's that part at the end where Kate Blanchett's watching him wave his hands at the burnt boy. Matthew or Michael?
One of the two. I'll say Matthew because it's my name.
I was like, I thought it was Matthew, and I was going to make fun of you for it because there's that part. I'll finish my point, and then I'll tell you why I was going to make fun of it for it. But
Yeah.
she's watching the new boy wave his hand at Matthew or Michael.
My brother's name's Michael as well, so it doesn't matter either way.
There we go. And
Sorry.
you don't see any light from her point of view, but then when you switch back to them, the light is there. He definitely has the powers, I think. Like, that's almost guaranteed. So I almost would reckon that the light is there. It feels weird that the light wouldn't be there. If it's just a weird read for the light not to be there, I think. But the reason I was gonna make fun of you, sorry, was because there's that part.
Mate, make fun of me. Go ahead.
Something I've never done before. There's that part where Matthew or Michael, let's just call him Matthew for this, because that was what I was gonna make fun of him, because I thought his name was Matthew. If it's Michael, that's really embarrassing.
Just making fun of my brother at this point.
Matthew becomes head boy, and he dibber-dobs on the kid who got punched in the stomach for losing the fight, and he says that the kid stole food, and Kate Blanchett goes to him, what punishment should he have? And Matthew goes, caning. And she goes, oh, there hasn't been a caning in a year, heavily implying that this is like a punishment that only the priest brought upon them. It wasn't something that anyone else did.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And she goes in this big tear of like, it's like trying to basically instill empathy into this boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a decent scene. It's not even a decent scene. It's a good scene. I quite liked it. And then possibly the funniest cut in the whole film is just cuts to Matthew beating the crap out of the kid who got uppercut. Not actually funny. Like, it actually is an indictment on a lot of.
I was gonna say it's a continuation of that, a good moment of that scene, because I think it's telling about the cycle of violence. But anyway,
absolutely. But it's just like,
Matthew's beating kids again.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Like, Matthew's beating kids again, or Matthew forgetting, not recognizing the lessons in empathy and all that we could gain. I don't know. It was just something funny like that. But then they said Michael a bunch, and I was like, I think I must have misheard the name, or I just wanted it. Okay. I wanted it really bad to be Matthew.
My lack of empathy runs in the family. I think it's fine. But anyway, I love that scene as well. I think I really like Deborah Melman's character as well.
Yeah,
I think
Sister Mum.
Yeah, Sister Mum. Her name is Sister Mum.
Yeah.
And the fact that the reason why she's stuck around is because she's lost her children, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really interesting, because she's an Indigenous woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's really fun. She's really sweet. George, he's an Indigenous man, isn't he? I'm not.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. He's an interesting character too, because he kind of flip flops between. He's like the closest this film has to an antagonist besides the other kids. There's not really an antagonist though. That's kind of weird for me to bring up, because it's really not actually one. The
antagonist is the situation. I think that it's all in
white culture. Is the antagonist
Christianity? But it's not even. That's the thing. Like, it's a nuanced film.
He's just like he's not just going, they're all evil. He's going, this is a reality that happened, and a lot of them thought they were being helpful. They thought they were doing the right thing. But as they say, hell is the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
This film is sugar-coated, though. That's the thing. I think it doesn't overtly showcase. Firstly, it doesn't showcase the effect that this whitewashing of culture has on the boy, in that, he's been taken away from his family and that type of thing. He's quite neutral throughout the film.
I think that's another thing that like that's part of like the alien nature of him that like I bounced off. It's just that he doesn't react to stuff like sorry, I know I interrupted your point, so maybe I'll let you finish. Right. Do you want to finish your point first?
No. I was just going to make a point that in comparison to other Warwick Thornton films, it isn't as impactful. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, definitely when you compare it to like the other movie we're going to be talking about for you guys next week, for us in 10 to 15 minutes, Sweet Country, that movie is,
it's heavy.
Yes, it's quite bleak in its depictions of a lot of things. But the boy though, he alienates. I felt alienated by him because he doesn't seem to react like to anything. And there's this weird thing at the start. He's quite I'm talking about the very start of the movie, with the opening scene. He's choking out this official, like a policeman or something, or some sort of soldier or something. And it implies a character with quite some zest, quite some zeal. But then as soon as he reaches the monastery, he's quite quick to trust Kate Blanchett's character. The scene he
yeah.
arrives in, basically, he's trusting Kate Blanchett immediately.
He doesn't make any attempts to really leave.
There's no attempt to escape. There's no anything. And maybe that's not the point of the movie.
Yeah.
I get that, but I just felt like this guy...
He's taken here against his will. You'd think that
and he just
he'd want
tends there. Yeah.
Yeah. You think he wouldn't be so quick to... And again, they're not forceful. There's no like scenes of,
They feed him.
anything really being impressed upon the children in a violent sense. So it's like, yeah. But... I'm here along. I'm along for the ride, I guess.
They're pretty okay with him slacking off as well when he's meant to be working.
He's just chilling out.
Yeah,
he doesn't actually wear the clothes for the whole film. You know
almost
what I mean?
the whole film.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't speak. The only words he can, English words I can say, "Amen."
He says "slut" once as well.
There you go, and that was a very, very funny moment.
He says it to Jesus, which is very, very funny. I don't really have much to say there. I think if you want to keep this short and brief,
short and sweet. I think wait till we get to Samson. I feel like I'm going to hype up this film way too much over this.
Yeah, you need to be careful because I'm quite susceptible to hype. So if people like start hyping something up, and then I'm sure Sense and Delay will be great, but if it's if you've hyped it, I'll be like, this is going to be the best movie ever made. Oh my God. And then it's not.
I'll say that some of the markers of this film. So for example, it is quite so slow paced. I mean, obviously the fantastic cinematography, the really sort of grounded monumental performances, they all continue on throughout his entire filmography. So like in terms of pacing, obviously some might consider this to be quite slow and plodding, but I think as we delve deeper, it does work in other films. And I think it worked here as well. Honestly, I was more engaged in this film than in the next film we're going to be talking about next week. But yeah, it is a trend of Mr. Thornton's.
Also want to point out the music in this was done by Nick Cave. He's a guy who reappears in just stuff. He just kind of appears in places.
Bits and pieces.
A lot of Australian stuff because I think he's Australian.
I believe so, yeah.
But yeah, he appears in a lot of Australian stuff, but he also appears internationally as well. I'm pretty sure he did the Red Right Hand song for Peaky Blinders. It wasn't for Peaky Blinders, but they used it
just inadvertently. There you go.
Yeah.
See, we're learning all sorts of new things today, mate.
Matthew.
Yes, Mitch.
Can you please tell me the new most Australian thing?
This joke is so bad. This is what happens when Mitch is sick for a week and he's like, he thinks of stuff like this.
You telling me this is worse than my screeching into the mic?
Oh, no, that was funny. That was funny.
Going real avant-garde with that one.
I loved it.
Saying avant-garde and then doing something stupid is very funny. I like doing that.
Do you reckon there's ever been an avant-garden?
Yeah, I reckon. It's like a garden, but it's made out of metal or something. Be like,
yeah, something like that. Mate, everything's been done before. Why are we here?
Well, let's go home. Oh, I do want to point out, sorry, before you do your new Australian thing, I do want to point out that it's really weird that Wikipedia states that the movie runs for 96 minutes, but then it was an almost 2-hour film. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. Can we get that? Can we get that fact check going? Yeah, I reckon.
Wikipedia, I'm not giving you $2.75. You're in the wrong. All right, you're giving me bad information.
Stop asking me.
Maybe get your run times for your films right, and then I'll consider.
Give me correct information.
Yeah, I reward excellence, not mediocrity.
Honestly, I'm amazed that because obviously like Australian films, there's not a ton of people that would be actively interested. I'm amazed that a lot of these films have really lengthy Wikipedia plot summaries.
I'm surprised by that too. Yeah, there was been I think Brand New Day had next to nothing. I'm pretty sure,
which is a shame because that is a great Australian film.
Yeah, what's the new thing?
We've had this running joke over the past couple of weeks that Mitch hates Brand New Day.
I don't even hate it. I just don't find it very good.
Come on, man! That one shot of Jeffrey Rush T-posing.
That was one
beach.
of a few good moments in the film, though. Like I can't.
It was funny.
It was funny. Anyway, what's the new most Australian thing, please?
The most Australian thing about 2023's The New Boy is the new boy's haircut.
Oh yeah, the blonde,
like tips. Yeah, it looks like something straight out of like Bondi Beach or the Gold Coast.
He does look like he's about to go surfing. He is also shirtless for most of this movie, so he's ready to go.
I know, he's so radical. He might as well have a career as like a professional surfer in the next life or something. if being Jesus doesn't pan out.
Well, it doesn't. He became Christian and he lost his Jesusness.
That's true. So maybe,
which is ironic.
Are we going to get like a Sweet Country Wolfram situation where it's like in 10 years Warwick Thornton is going to make a sequel to The New Boy, but it's just The New Boy is like a professional server in like the 1960s.
It'd be like that Richard Linklater film where they get the same actor back.
Boyhood.
And, yeah, and it's the actual amount of time has passed.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That would be kind of cool.
And also, like, I just want to say also that the kid himself, who played the new boy, I thought did quite well as a young.
I think he did well for what he was told to do. His character I found a bit hard to lock into.
That's the big trend as well with Warwick Thornton films. Just for clarification, is that a lot of the Indigenous actors aren't professionally trained. He sources them from various communities and groups, and like, I think it provides a naturality that is unprecedented in other forms of Australian media. It's good. How are you feeling about Warguast, Mitch?
I'm intrigued. Like I'm excited to see the rest of this guy's cinematography. It's nice to watch a director's full cinematography. I think I don't do it enough. Honestly, I usually run out of steam and don't finish it. Yeah. But it's always nice to watch like an oeuvre of film. This one's only got
whole body of work.
Yeah, and this one we'll be able to see most of it. We'll be missing Wolfram, but we'll come back to Wolfram. We'll definitely come back to it when it's more available. When it's more available, we'll definitely come back.
When I can get
Wolfram.
It on DVD, I'll be happy.
I mean, can we get anything on DVD nowadays? I mean,
oh my gosh, don't get me started, babe.
This is going to date the episode, but Sony's decided just recently to cut physical media.
Do you reckon they're going to backtrack on that? Like, let's just get your thoughts out here now, because who knows what's going to happen by January 2028.
Will they backtrack? 2028. Oh yeah, that's when it's canceling.
That's when it's stopping.
I don't know. I straight up don't know. I would love for them to backtrack.
I think it's wise.
I think the issue is that the gaming industry is such a... but it could kill their sales though. Because
it's true.
To be fair, they haven't been doing well selling the PS5s anyway, because they've been too expensive and they're going up. Yeah. And there hasn't been any games.
I thought, like, back in the day, I was like, paying $700 for a game console, that's expensive,
right? Yeah. No, now it's going up. Those old consoles are going up. It's crazy.
But the more concerning thing is, because obviously Sony owns the Blu-ray format. Do you know what I mean? So tying it back to movies, if they're stopping physical game production, what's next?
Well, I mean, Disney's already said they're not going to release any more physical media to at least Australia, but maybe the world. I'm not sure.
Except when they don't, though, because they've done like weird like collector's editions and stuff, like the Beatles they did one for, and then they just released Hamilton on Blu-ray. So I guess it's like if the money is right for a specific project, they'll do it, but like just generally, I guess no. It's weird.
Probably some sort of market research that we're not privy to that tells them not to do it.
Or they just want all of the money.
All the money, all the time. Well, if we could ask you to give us all of your attention all the time at TikTok,
we will never ever
Instagram,
ask for your money.
Threads, and YouTube. We might ask for your money if we get popular enough.
If one of us is in a car accident and needs to do a GoFundMe, then we'll ask for your money.
Please give us money. Matthew is dying. Or Mitchell. It could be Mitchell.
Who will die first? That's the question.
Let's not ask that. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. You can find us at Under Southern Screens Pod. You can also email us at undersouthernscreenspod@gmail.com.
Email us, please.
We would love to hear from you. Actually, I haven't been checking the email. Have you been checking the email?
I've not, so we might have a mountain of messages.
That's actually really embarrassing.
From prospective investors who want to give us money.
It's rough. We should check out emails.
We should check the emails. But while we're checking the emails, you should rate this podcast 5 stars on Spotify or your podcast stream of choice.
And leave a review.
Yeah, give us a comment, give us a review, do whatever you like, mate.
I spoke at you. I'm really sorry. I got really excited.
That's all right. We're just excited for the next film in Warguast.
I am excited.
I'm the segue king. We can get it all going. Mitch, what are we watching next week?
Well, we mentioned it, but we're watching Sweet Country.
That's it,
2017 Meat Pie Western.
Meat Pie Western? Oh, because it's Aussie.
I'll explain on the next. Oh, yeah, you got it.
That was easy. On that stunning disappointment. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you later.
It'll do, guys. Have a good one.
And keep an eye on those southern screens. Thanks for listening to another episode of Under Southern Screens. We'll be back next week to talk more films down under. We just want to attribute that our opening title is Heavy Duty by Zoo, and our closing title is Heavyweight by Fell Creek. Thanks so much for listening, and Mitch and I will see you in the next episode. See you next time. Under Southern Screens would like to acknowledge the stolen lands on which this podcast is recorded and produced, and pay tribute to the Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation and Camaragal people of the Eora Nation.
Sovereignty was never ceded, and we pay respect to all Indigenous elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.